You're sat there watching on Aston Villa up against Manchester City. This City side, is it done and dusted as far as you're concerned?
Yeah, I would say it is. I think looking at the teams they've got to face to the end of the season, I think they've got a good run, and the form they're in right now, I just don't see anyone catching them.
Yeah, let's have a little look, Izzy, at the form to the end of the season, the teams they've got to face. Jordan's right. It looks like it's in Manchester City's favourable hands when you see the teams they're about to face.
Yeah, and it's not done till it's done. But I think, their recruitment strategy in the January transfer window really helped them. I think Sam Coffey is a name that, she was in demand across world football, and she comes in and fills the hole that I thought Manchester City were maybe needing to fill in order to solidify their quest to be champions. And I think they've been absolutely formidable this season, and they'll obviously want to get a big result today as well.
Cover your ears. Is this the best Manchester City side we've seen?
Oh, no, it's got to be.
No, come on, you can say what you think.
I can't lie. With the way the game's growing, you'd put them up there. Yeah, I think facts don't lie. They're obviously, depending on how they do, could have the most wins in the WSL in a season. So, yeah, I think they've still got to get to the end first, haven't they? But yeah, looking at especially their attacking force, it's not a bad one.
Here is how the end will play out. The teams they've got to play, who's up there and around about in terms of the top four. Spurs, of course, can still very much mix with it depending on results today and beyond. But looking at those positions in red, the Old Trafford Light, first to fourth teams they've got to play. You look at that and think Arsenal, 9th to 12th, maybe have the better run, a couple of extra games to play as well, but just too far off it now, is he?
Yeah, I think so. I think in terms of the Manchester City fixtures, I think, business as usual, they just need to take care of business, and they've put themselves in a very strong position, and no easy game in this league's easy anymore. No game in this league is easy.
And no easy game is easy.
No easy game is easy, spot on. But no, I think in terms of where they've got themselves, they've put in the work. They've obviously profited from not having Champions League football. They've used the rebuild. And I agree with Jordan totally in terms of the squad. I think that this is the best squad they've had in terms of the starting 11, the depth. They're able to be creative and make changes to the team, which they'll have to, of course, with the Asian Cup going on at present. So I think they are, without a doubt, the best team in their history, which pains me to say it, but they absolutely deserve that. And they've got themselves into this position, but I think that they will not know it's done until they've done the business.
They're going to need that enviable depth, because we'll mention it a few times over the next hour, I'm sure, the Asian Cup and how many teams have got players off there. Japan and Australia dominating the WSL players that have gone there. But if we look at Arsenal, your former side, the only other top four team in action in the league today, this is key for them now. They've got to start making up the points. Might have a nice run in, but they can't afford to slip with that top three place up for grabs.
No, they definitely can't. And I think they've seemed to come back into their form a little bit the last few games. Obviously, they're missing people at the Asia Cup, Steph Catley, Cooney Cross. So, yeah, I think they've just got to stay focused game by game. I think it really helps the two games in hand for them. I think whenever Arsenal have that little bit of pressure on them and it's in their hands, I think that's when we see the best version of them.
Knowing your old mates as you do, are they the sort of team that can handle that, just focus on this moment?
I think so. I think to win the Champions League, it shows what they can deal with under pressure. So, yeah, I do believe that they'll still be fighting. Like Izzy said, I still see City not being caught, but Arsenal want to get into that Champions League spot.
Theirs?
Yeah, I think if they win their two games in hand, they go above where Chelsea and Manchester United could be in terms of their points tally.
That's mad, isn't it?
It's huge, and then you'd then argue that then it would become a fight between Chelsea and Manchester United to claim that third spot. But Arsenal, in a similar fashion to the way Manchester City want to see it out, they have to take care of business, and they've got some momentum at the moment. Their league form's good. I think they've got themselves into a good position. Jordan said the players are obviously away with the Asian Cup, but I think Steph Catley, you zoom in on her and the impact and the consistency that she's had in the Arsenal side. They'll miss her, but they've got a good replacement in Lotte Ruben-Moy. They've got a very strong back line. They've got good structures, the way they work through Arsenal, and they play some fantastic football on their day. So, yeah, they're a team that will want to claim that spot without a doubt.